If I were to shift focus, Savyuji, to the COVID oxygen crisis that India witnessed very recently, especially in the city of Delhi, which led to a blame game between the state and the center. So, ultimately, the questions that a lot of people, the general public, is asking is that who indeed was responsible for the oxygen shortage, and how is the government then subsequently handling this?
Well, to be honest, the most important aspect of where the second wave actually took off in India was the fact that a lot of us in India, including the government, both at the center and various states across the country, felt with the vaccine coming in, India would be able to mitigate the second wave if it ever did arrive. So that was
Yes.
complacency number one that set in. Having said that, I think the government was working towards creating better healthcare systems as far as India was concerned. But the second wave hit all of a sudden. The mutation of the virus started to have its impact, and people did not know how to deal with this mutation. It was
Yes.
spreading faster. It was spreading uh, across the age groups that were not known to get the virus. First the senior citizens were considered to be the target, then the citizens between the age group of 30 to 45. So it started spreading into the younger adults, and then younger people as well. When I mean younger, I'm talking 18 to 30 onwards. So
Yes.
people didn't understand the virus, the second variant of the virus, the double mutant, as you would call it. The government and various other aspects of governments across the country were busy with their own governance, as you would call it. There were elections, there were people, markets were open, people were going to markets, people were traveling to different destinations. Everything was coming back to some sort of normalcy till the second wave came. So in that
Yes.
case, if you were to ask me who's to be blamed, I think all of us as Indians are supposed to be blamed for what has happened.
True.
Okay. Just like you would say in with America, when America faced the first wave, if you go by figures of last year, you've seen a really robust healthcare system like America actually crumble
True.
under the weight of the virus and its effects. The same thing happened to India. But India is not a robust healthcare, does not have a robust healthcare system. It has not acquired that. It will take us some time to become a robust healthcare system. But in
Yes.
in that complexity, in those problems that we have as a healthcare system, I think we were able to at least mitigate some amount of risk. Should have done better, we could have
Yes.
done the best, but I think most governments, including the center and the states, did do good enough to try and mitigate the risk. They could have certainly done much better and best, and we still need to do a lot more improvement as far as our healthcare infrastructure is concerned, as far as our messaging is concerned with regards to the vaccines, because a lot of people still do not want to take the vaccine. There's still a
Hmm.
lot of misinformation going around with regards to whether one vaccine is better than the other. So there's a lot of complications that can be handled as far as communications is concerned. And of course, there is the opposition that is wanting to put the center on a mat, saying that it has failed. That's bound to happen. I don't expect anything else from the opposition, because the opposition does not think for India. All they think about is politics, and that's fine with me. But as citizens of
Hmm.
this country, what we should be focused on is trying to become the strong arms of the government in order to contain this pandemic ourselves. You see, many people don't understand the nature of the pandemic. The nature of the pandemic is first individualistic, which means if you can protect yourself, you can stop the spread, or
Yes.
you can stop yourself from being infected. What people are expecting is a macro solution to the problem. Of course, there is a macro need and a macro solution to the problem, but you have to deal with it at a micro level as well.
Yes,
If people
truly.
aren't going to follow COVID protocols, if people aren't going to mask up, if people aren't going to wash their hands, if people aren't going to avoid crowds, if people aren't going to follow immunity, necessary treatment, if they're not going to be healthy and eat well, if they are not going to be able to stop drinking, smoking, and all these things which harm your immunity, obviously you're going to be somebody who's prone to get attacked. The point
True.
is, how healthy are you? Because you must understand that the coronavirus attacks the immunity of a person. So if you
Mm.
build your immunity well, if you are following COVID protocols, you are ensuring that you individually have kept yourself safe, then you can be sure that your family will also be safe. You can be sure that your society will also be safe, and you can be sure that in all this, at least the place where you are is contained and free from COVID, right? And the coronavirus pandemic. That's the
Yes,
thing. Unfortunately, we have become so cynical a country that everything boils down to the information you get on social media, WhatsApp, media, global media. That's only keen on portraying India with crematorium pictures and dead bodies in a river. Nobody is keen on talking about the fact that there are so many people out there, fighting for people to survive, to live. Because at the end of the day, the unique quality of India is humanity.
truly.
There are so many people. Nobody talks about that. A rickshaw driver helping a patient get to the hospital, a taxi person helping a family get to a hospital, how people have worked to get people beds in hospital, oxygens wherever they require. These are citizens doing it at a time where certain governments, state governments have failed, at certain places where the center would have not been able to be equipped enough. It is the citizens that have come out and actually done the job of an Indian citizen.
Truly.
Because you must remember, as long as you save one life, you stop one super spreader. That's what the logic is. If I can stop myself from being infected, if I can get myself to be vaccinated, then I know that I will not be able to spread it to somebody else.
Certainly.
It's easy to blame the government, of course, but when you're having a fire happening in your home, where your family is inside the home, are you going to sit down with the neighbor and discuss why the fire hydrant was not in the building? Or are you going to jump into the fire and save your family? Right now,
Exactly.
for us as Indian citizens, it's time to save people, to save lives. We need to get the government to work, whether it's at the state level or the center. We need to put pressure. We need to get them to ensure that more lives are saved. And then at the end of it, when we are out of the health crisis, we can deal with the problems that existed at where we failed. But right
Yes,
now, we need to deal with the crisis for what it is. And the motto should be to save lives. That's the main thing.
Namaste. We hope you enjoyed this Chitti Media content. Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.